Hi, I'm Sylvie, and this is Beyond Financial Reset, where we share with you financial tips and tools to create the life that you want, the life that you deserve. If you're new to our channel, thanks for stopping by. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will get notifications when we release new video. For those who've subscribed, thank you for supporting us. We are glad to have you. In this video, I will be talking about ways on saving on African meals. African meals are very costly. So wherever we can save money, I will gladly take it. So I will be sharing with you 10 tips that you can use to save on African meals. The very first tip is to introduce other meals into your menu. So have the family try other things like tacos, like soup, so that they will not have to eat just African meals at home. The second thing is to make a list when you shop. So going out to shop without a list is gonna make you shop for things that you would otherwise not have bought. Making a list prevents you from overspending, and it keeps you focused on what you want to buy. But when you go shopping without a list, especially at an African store, there's a tendency that you're going to overspend. The third tip is to use cash. Yes, go shopping with cash instead of using your card. I know when I go to an African store, I remember all the things that I don't have at home, or maybe that I forgot to check at the pantry. That has happened to me. But when you have cash, and you know you only have a limited amount of money to spend, you would tend to not overspend, for one. And secondly, you will stay on target and you will stay focused on what you came to buy. Next, you want to make meals from things you have in your pantry. So take, for example, you're thinking of cooking. Look in the pantry or in the cupboard and find out what you have at home. Instead of jumping into the car, going to the shop and buying things, try to just go through the pantry and make a meal from those things. We get creative and we'll be amazed at what we can come up with sometimes. And as a fun way, have the kids name the meal. That could be a new meal that you can put on your menu. The fifth tip is to shop in season. When you shop out of season, you tend to pay more for your items. Find out the fruits that are in season. When you're going to shop for fruits, for example, if the man at the African store tells he doesn't have cocoa or he doesn't have yam during that time, then it's probably not in season and not a good thing to have on your menu. So find out what things are in season. Talk to the guy running the African shop. Find out when he gets his produce and when the items are usually in season. So when you make your menu or your meal plan, then you can plan accordingly. And that brings me to my sixth tip, which is making a meal plan. So making a meal plan helps you to reuse your items and the things that you've already bought. So say, for example, if you meal plan for the week and you go out to buy some beef, you can use the beef to make some beef stew and to make some fried rice. Or the ingredients that you use to make the beef stew, you can reuse them for the fried rice. That way you're not wasting the ingredients, or you're not wasting the beef that you've already bought, or you have a tendency to say, let me just throw in the extra beef into the beef stew since I don't have anything to cook anyway. The seventh tip is to make a garden. When you make a garden, you can grow things like the herb and the spices that you use to cook, or the vegetables like huckleberry and some spinach or some squash that you can cook. Now you want to be careful. Some people do not have a green thumb and you end up spending so much money watching the garden and you do not end up saving when you make the garden. But it's definitely something that you can try out, because at the end of the day, you have some organic vegetables that you can cook and you save on those spices as well. The eighth tip is not eat meat for some meals. Now, African meals do require a lot of meat. from the rooter to the tutor. Okay? So if you decide not to eat meat for certain meals, you will be saving some big bucks. Plus, you'll be eating healthier. So that is definitely something that your family and yourself can commit to, because if some people decide not to eat meat and the rest of the family is like, oh no, we're eating meat, it's going to be harder. But if you make it a family affair, then it will be easier for everybody to commit to it. The 9th tip is to not shop when you're hungry. Now, shopping when you're hungry, you're more inclined to overspend, and you eat as you go. You all know when you go shopping, things have been strategically placed such that you have the snacks near the checkout line. And at the African store, you have the chips. So you just grab one chip, that's like $1.25 you just spend that you did not plan to spend. So definitely go out shopping when you're not hungry, so that you do not spend those extra $1, $2 that you did not plan to spend. And the last tip is to make a budget. You want to make a budget for grocery and stick to it. Now, budgeting for grocery is really helpful because you know how much you can spend, how much you're allowed to spend, so that when you're planning your meals, you can plan your meals around your budget. So I just want to throw in another tip here, that sometimes you save money ordering African food. Now, I say this because African food takes a lot of time to prepare. So take, for example, you get paid $40 an hour, and you're spending 4 hours to cook a pot of soup. That is $160. If you can order that pot of soup from somebody who cooks for a living for $100, you're saving $60. On top of that, you have extra time to spend with your family, to spend with your spouse, and you just pick up that pot of soup from the lady who just cooked it for you. So just something to think about. If you have other tips on how you can save money on African meals, I would sure love to hear from you. So drop them in the comment below, and don't forget to share the video and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.